bring in Filippo Dionigi, a specialist in Lebanese politics, Hezbollah, Israel, and the Middle East. Filippo, thanks so much for joining us. Let's start with this French defense minister's visit to Lebanon. Is Sébastien Lecornu there to make sure that there is not a regional escalation of the Israel-Hamas war?
I think that's the case, Dini. I think no one really wants a regional escalation of this war, and the fact that France has troops directly deployed with the UNIFIL mission in South Lebanon makes that risk and that possibility even more concerning for France. And therefore, that could be one of the reasons why the minister has visited Lebanon today. I think in addition to this, there is something else to add. France has portrayed itself in the past few years, for a long time, in fact, as a state that wants to mediate and somehow act as a problem solver for the very difficult situation in which Lebanon is. And therefore, now is once again trying to play that role.
What do you think about the thinking of Hezbollah at the moment? Does it want to go to war against Israel? Will it do so?
I think it's an interesting question. My sense is that neither Hezbollah nor, Iran, its patron, or the other regional allies of what they call themselves as the axis of resistance want really a regional escalation in the sense of a broad, massive conflict exploding in the region. If you think of it, Iran and its allies have already achieved quite a number of results in the past few weeks due to the brutal attack of Hamas. They have exacerbated the sense of vulnerability of Israel. They have suspended the process of normalization of relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia. And they've also managed to bring back the Arab-Israeli conflict at the very top of the global political agenda. So for them, this is a fairly decent position to be in compared to the past. And I don't think they want to see this changing very quickly and not with a massive war. What I think we're witnessing instead is a gradual escalation towards a sort of more of a war of attrition at a regional level. So you see the Houthis coming in, you see an increase, a spikes in incidents also of attacks against American forces, US forces deployed in the region as well. So it might be more of a regional gradual escalation in terms of a war of attrition, more than a fully blown kind of war in that sense. That's the kind of scenario that looks more likely to me. And Hezbollah, to an extent, has been playing along, these kind of lines as well. The conflict in South Lebanon, northern Israel, has intensified significantly, and Hezbollah has suffered casualties, and apparently Israel too. We don't have official numbers there. But the way in which this conflict has unfolded so far, the war has unfolded so far, is along lines that basically rely on targeting primarily military targets, apart from a few exceptions, which it means that, when Israel attacks military targets, Hezbollah retaliates on military targets and vice versa, meaning that there is not yet an interest for a major escalation towards civilian targets, which is what led for example, also to cases such as the 2006 July war, right? So for now, Hezbollah has been acting in a fairly restrained manner. Yet in a couple of days, there is going to be Nasrallah speech, which is very much anticipated, and we may see some changes in that respect.
How likely would you say is it that this Israel-Hamas war will spiral into an even broader conflict, perhaps a proxy war that goes as far as being between the U.S. and Iran? Do you see that happening?
For what is my reading of events currently, I don't see this as something that Iran is interested in causing for the time being. Therefore, my sense is that again we will see an increase in tensions and incidents at middle low level, perhaps, and mostly with reference to military targets. But hopefully not anything that will explode into a conflict of global dimension so far, at least, for what are the signs that I've seen so far, at least.
Okay, Filippo, thank you very much for that. Filippo Dionigi speaking to me live there from Bristol. Thank you.